Aside, it's like, what are the Democrats really gonna say at this point? Either, and all their little petulant little shit they want to snip about somebody saying they won't support the party unless it falls in line to their opinion on this. They'll probably call you a purity pony, but oh no, how dare I? How like imagine being ashamed of wanting purity. Kind of doesn't really seem like all that much of a bad thing if you ask me. And then of course they'll try to be like, oh, you just threw all these minority groups under the bus and women over the bus just to make a statement with your ballot. Good on you. Yeah, hurrah, in their critique about it. But it's like, the Supreme Court already gutted what was left of women's rights. I mean, what do you think that if the Republicans win, they're going to come for a woman's right to vote? The 19th Amendment, like they no, they already know that there's plenty of right wing women that already agree with them. They're not going to try to keep those people from voting. It's just not going to happen. I hate to break it to you, but they've done the damage that they're going to do to women's rights and equality. So, what else do you want to throw at me when it comes to this? Oh, another Supreme Court justice, when what the Supreme Court's already been swayed so far to the right that what difference does it fucking make? What do you have? I mean, really, you don't really have an argument for voting for Gavin anymore. Now that the court has done the damage that it's going to do, and what's left of the liberals in the court has been completely gutted, and you've got a court that leans so far to the right that like good luck with any massive expansion of government because they'll just gut it very quickly with the Republican court. I mean, things are already at their worst. They really can't get any worse than this because what the fuck does it matter if there's you know 8 votes instead of fucking 7 in their favor on the court? So it doesn't really. There's no conceivable way for the liberals on the court to win, anyways, at this point. And even if one justice dissents from it, there's always going to be there's they've got a wide enough majority now that they win anyways, despite the fact that a Republican or two defects. It's a joke. It's farcical to bring up the Supreme Court this time. So as far as Gavin's concerned, if he wins the nomination and everything, because he dared to take the opposing point of view on this one, he just lost himself a potential fucking voter. I'm sick of it. I'm sick of becoming of all the issues that I'm passionate about, and then lo and behold, I go and find out that the Democrats are completely against, and that they're every bit as much of an advocate of the law and order, kind of bullshit politics that has been a mistake in this country for the past 30 fucking years. Honestly, during the saga the past couple of years, it's been rather remarkable to see just how cringe-inducing so many of their perspectives actually are. They've been one of the most animated people, on the issues for the past couple of years. They were screaming about Bitcoin and the Silk Road and everything else that it enabled. Like, oh no, that these darknet markets, they've done something unthinkable. And it was just like they were furious about it, and it was like, this isn't even worth getting angry about. If anything, it's better than the alternative, which is that Al Qaeda was the one that supplies people's drugs instead of tech enabled tech bros that understood Bitcoin, unlike the primitive you know cave dwelling Al Qaeda that wouldn't even have really fundamentally understood it very well at all. But no, you thought you flipped the fuck out in the party. I'm not sorry about any of this. I'm fucking sick of it. It just feels like being like they treat you like you're a cog in the wheel, and then of course they don't want the people's concerns to have any real influence over actually shaping legislation or anything. It's like they're so used to having power that they think that it matters that they disagree with us. But at the end of the day, we are the final check and the final authority on what they do. And make no mistake about it, they work for us, not vice versa. They like to act like otherwise, and like we should respect the fact that they've got a difference of opinion with us on this, but we don't care anymore. I mean, things have evolved past that point of being concerned with the fact that a public official has a different point of view about things. Like, if I'm telling you how I feel about this, that's how I feel about it, and I'm preparing to find a candidate that will vote the way that I want them to, and not the way that they want to, and will put their personal opinion on the matter aside and actually represent their constituent. I'm not looking for your point of view. Really, I don't care that the drug warrior crowd feels that they're right on this one. I'm done with drug warrior politics. I'm done with the law and order crowd. I think that they've had their time and that they have failed, and that it is time, way past, in fact, for a new way forward. I am sick and fucking tired of these status quo politicians that, continue to cling to the miserable failure that is the drug war. It was an idealistic war that was never based in reality in the first place, and, you know, they seem to want to cling to this ideal, and I want realism. I'm done. I'm thoroughly disgusted at this point.